What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I've found a little bit of an interesting way to make a bit of money in the Zamorak dungeon, but it's actually really easy and simple and it's pretty damn good money. So I'm going to show you a way that you can make around about 15 mil an hour with the potential for it to go higher, I do believe. And if you consider the untradables as well, like the slivers that you're going to be getting from this, it is actually quite a lot higher than that too. So what you are going to be doing is killing off the 6 mages in the Zamorak area. I'm going to show you guys that in this video and explain how it's profitable, how much money you're going to actually be getting. And then I'm going to be showing you the method that I do to do this to make sure you get as fast kills as possible. I'm sure you guys will be able to improve on it as well in some ways, but this will give you a good baseline to do that. And so for you guys that do enjoy this sort of money making thing, this will be very interesting for you guys, and to be honest, I'm quite impressed with how much money this actually makes. Now, this is something you will have to do in normal mode or in rage mode. You don't want to do this in story mode. While you can, the profit is way less, but we'll talk about that as we get to it. If you enjoy the video, if it helps you out, if it makes you a bit of money, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's talk about this. So in the Zamorak arena, once you've actually pushed through the dungeon, or if you have the skip available, which is probably the more convenient way to do this, you can kill the 6 mages to start the fight. Once you've killed the last one of these mages, the fight will start and Zamorak will become targetable. Before that, Zamorak is just there, so they're doing nothing. He doesn't actually hit you. He's not a threat or anything like that, so you can actually kill these mages. Now, these mages in normal mode and in rage mode drop a decent amount of loot. Not too much, but a decent amount. Now the thing is, you can kill these mages over and over again, and you can kill them incredibly quick. The cost of killing them is incredibly low as well, as I will talk about that after I explain the actual thing to you and talk about the profits and stuff. I'm going to give you a rundown of what I do, and you'll be able to see that the costs are low, what gear I use, what I would suggest you do, and just how to do it exactly. So these mages, as far as I can tell, each run drop between 100 to 200k GP each time, and you can do them incredibly fast. As you can see on screen, I'll be doing that in the background. Now, if you bring along lucky charms with you to this dungeon as well while you're doing this, you will end up actually getting these slivers from these drops too. There's a good chance that the lucky charms will turn into the slivers, and through this I did get 3 in the hour that I did here while using the lucky charms. I did a total of 2 hours of doing this overall. I did 1 hour without the lucky charms because I meant to have them with me but completely forgot. That was the first hour that I did, and then I made 14.3 million GP doing that, as you can see on screen here. However, then I remembered right towards the end, I realized I didn't have the lucky charms, so I went back and I did another hour after testing out story mode as well, and realized that the lucky charms do in fact work. We got through quite a lot of them, I believe just about 10 through the actual hour of doing this, but by the time that hour ended, I made around about 15.3, 15.2 million GP here in doing the same thing. So the lucky charms did add 1 million GP in drop, but also it's worth mentioning that the slivers can end up being a lot of money. The slivers, the mage ones specifically for the upgrading the channelers ring, can actually be incredibly profitable. If you make the channelers ring upgrade and then sell it back on the Grand Exchange, at the moment, as of recording this video, it is between 60 to 80 million GP profit. So taking that into account, the magic slivers, if you do get them, are also counted as profit too, assuming you are going to craft those upgrade kits. That being said, the other ones are still going to be worth profit. I believe the range ones, the power ones, are worth a little bit. I think if you make the codex from that or whatever it is, you end up actually making around about 25 million GP. I did do one of those yesterday at some point. Of course, these prices will change, so do expect that, and it is worth testing these. But I think the Channelers Ring one will likely be profitable for a long time. The other ones will need to be tested on which is the most profitable, as I have only done these other 2, but the profit is still there. So overall, I would say there's a good chance that you can be making 15 to 20 mil an hour, considering the fact that once you add the slivers in there, it is going to go up quite a bit, especially if you get the magic ones. So the first hour, I got 14.3 million GP, as I said. The second hour, I got 15.2, 15.3. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but this shows that it is pretty consistent, and also the fact that you had the lucky charms gives the increase is absolutely great. This is really easy to do. It is really not that difficult. So what I'm going to do now is go over how to do this for you and explain how I did it to make it more efficient. And then hopefully if you guys can improve on it, then happy days. And if it's just as good as it's going to be, then hey, at least now you know another 15 mil to 16 mil plus money making method that's nice and easy to do. It's worth mentioning as well that the enrage doesn't make a difference. I had someone test this at 900% enrage, and then I did it myself at 40% enrage. It is no difference. The only difference is story mode will give you around about 5 to 6 mil an hour rather than giving you the 15 to 16 mil an hour. All right, so let's jump into the example and we'll go from there. So the setup that I use, as you can see in the inventory, is this. You don't need to use anything else, so I'll quickly go over how all that works for you. So you know how you can not use any food, you don't need to use any prayer or anything like that. It's literally just overloads, and you use some runes and stuff, and then like a Ripidemon pouch without any scrolls. And like I said before, I'm using the Bandos book, so there's really no costs involved except for like very, very light stuff. Armor and stuff doesn't even matter. You could do it without armor, it wouldn't really make a difference. The things are so easy to kill that you're not going to struggle. So I'm using the best weapons and armor that I can, seeing as the armor is not going to degrade while you're in there because you're not really getting hit. But also, obviously, the best weapons you've got, the faster kills you're going to get. You may make a little bit extra, but I'd say tier 85 should be absolutely fine. So you bring whatever weapons you can. I'm using magic, so I bring wand, orb, and a staff, because obviously 4 ticking's extra damage. If you're using range, just bring the best range weapons you can. Probably use something like diamond bolts. I wouldn't bother using rubies because the things are too low health. You'll just end up losing damage. And then for melee might even be quicker because of barge, to be in all honesty. And of course, you'll have less costs with melee as well. So just bring the best weapons you can, and obviously use the best prayers you can. Bring an overload. Bring 2 overloads for if you're doing the full hour. And that's pretty much it. You want a bladed die switch, which is what I've got here for the Drygor and the Excalibur. I brought 3 blubber jellyfish just in case my devotion drops, but I'll talk about that as we do the thing. And then my adrenaline urn is just there, just for convenience. Again, you probably won't need it because you're going to be moving pretty quick. I'm using the Bandos book because it's really cheap. Just turn that on. It'll just be a little bit of extra instant damage, allowing you to move on straight away. So what you want to do is you want to get all this stuff and start out at the crystal. Make sure you get yourself some adrenaline. You aren't going to be using the crystal after the first time unless you let your adrenaline drop, but you shouldn't do anyway, and it's pretty easy to keep it up. I used a maniacal aura when I did it because that's just more damage, and I figured the faster kills the better. But you could use Magirat, you could use dark magic. It doesn't matter too much. You're not going to splash on these mages anyway. So you want to come through the portal, go to the thing. You don't want to do it in story mode because when we tested that, like I said before, it wasn't worth it. So just do either normal mode or enrage mode. The enrage doesn't matter, so just use whatever. I just press number 2 because it's easier. So you click on the thing, press number 3, press number 2, surge forward straight away and teleport here. If you've got the skip, you can press 2 for Zamorak. If not, you would have to run the dungeon, and then it'll be like number 6 for Zamorak instead. Go through the portal. Once you're in here, use devotion, put your prayers on, and surge on an angle like this. And then just target cycle or just click on the thing and kill it off. And then surge again. Just keep surging around the room, killing them off as quick as you possibly can. You'll get faster at it the longer you do it, of course, because you're going to get used to when you can kill them and when you can move on and stuff. Kill them as quick as you can. And then just keep moving along. Target cycling I found was incredibly useful here. So if you don't have that, go to your settings and keybind target cycling. It is really good. It saves you so much effort. As soon as that one dies, you don't have to wait. Just literally as soon as it dies, teleport out, surge over to the crystal, recharge your stuff, and then you're going to immediately bladed dive and surge back through the portal. And the reason you do that is because it's faster. The portal is going to reset all of your stuff, and when you start losing any health, because you will start losing some health at some point, you just use your Excalibur, because the crystals can reset it every single time, and you can heal up with that every single time you bank if you need to. So that'll keep your food high, the crystal keeps your prayer high, and because you're constantly killing stuff and you are stalling your adrenaline, you do not need to worry about adrenaline either. You're just going to constantly have some. Now, if you have Limitless, when you come in here, you can use Limitless, and you can use devotion every single time. If you don't, then you may want to make sure you leave with over 50% adrenaline, because the devotion at the beginning is way better because you're not going to lose a lot of damage. These things do hit pretty hard if you don't have devotion on. But obviously killing them when you have devotion on extends the duration of it, so it's definitely worth keeping that in mind. But that's pretty much it. That's all you're going to be doing for about 15 mil an hour. I think it's pretty good. I don't know if this will get fixed. I'd keep an eye on it. Maybe check if you're doing it on a new day or something, or maybe every Monday if you're doing this a lot. Just check that Jagex haven't patched it out. If you listen to the patch notes that I do, then I'll probably tell you if they do anyway. But it's definitely a pretty chill, easy moneymaker. Chuck some music on, run around there for an hour, and 15 mil plus slivers. It's pretty great. Well, there you go. That is how I managed to make around about 15 to 16 million GP an hour, whether you're including the costs of the slivers or not. And it's not so easy and chill. I just chucked on some music, just went around for an hour, used an aura, of course. It did help out a little bit, probably. But these things are so easy to kill, it really isn't that difficult. And I'm quite surprised that this is so good. But anyway, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, then do leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If I find any other interesting stuff like this in the dungeon, then I will absolutely make a video and mention that too. But I just thought this was quite cool. cool and a nice easy money maker, especially for people that have got to the dungeon. Maybe you can't kill Zamorak just yet. You want to make a bit of extra cash. You can do this. This is not a problem. They have very little health. As long as you utilize the devotion, you're not going to need food. You're not going to need prayer because you got the crystal. It's really, really easy. Anyway, channel members, thank you so much for your extra support. I appreciate it very much. Your names have been on screen, of course. You guys support the channel that bit extra, and it is very much appreciated. If anyone else wants to join them, click the join button by the subscribe button, and you can get some perks while you support the channel. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you all too, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.